Hello everybody and welcome to an episode of Food Finessa. Since it was requested, today I'm going to show you how to make a simple chocolate layer cake that is perfect for any party or special occasion that you might have. So let me tell you what you'll need before we get started. Okay, so you will need some coffee granules, or you can use espresso powder, baking soda, baking powder and salt, vanilla sugar or vanilla extract, a couple of eggs, both the eggs and egg whites, some cocoa powder, vegetable or canola oil, milk, sugar, and some all-purpose flour. And then I also have one 9-inch round baking pan, but you'll need 2 of these, but since I only have one, I'll have to switch them out because this cake batter, this recipe will make 2 of these. And I'm going to be using my standing KitchenAid mixer today. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to add your dry ingredients to the bowl of your standing mixer, and we're going to whisk these all together. So the first thing I'm going to add is some all-purpose flour, our granulated sugar, and it's about 2 cups of each, some cocoa powder, vanilla sugar, and all of our baking soda, baking powder, salt, and coffee granules, or you can use espresso powder. And we're just going to whisk these together until it's evenly incorporated. Okay, so now to your dry mixture, you're going to add your milk. This is super easy. Just both of your eggs, your vegetable or canola oil, and then you are going to put this in your standing mixer. Okay, once you've put it in your standing mixer, you're going to take your paddle attachment, which is what we will be using to mix this together, and you're going to mix this on low speed or medium speed until it's fully incorporated. And then I'll also show you one more ingredient, key ingredient, that you will need for this recipe. Okay, at this point you should have your oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and the last key ingredient for this recipe is 1 cup of boiling water. Now this will make the cake extra moist, so we're just going to shut this off, and you're going to add this to your mixture and beat this on low until it's fully incorporated. Okay, so once your cake batter has been done mixing, so we're going to just take this out, and look at that. It's going to be super moist, and this is like no other cake you've had before, I will assure you. I'm gonna just remove the paddle attachment, set that aside, and make sure your pan is well greased, very well greased, or else you'll have a nightmare and it will stick to the sides. Look at that. That is what I call a moist chocolate cake batter. So you're going to take your cake pan, and if you have 2, you can do this in one shot. I don't, but if you have 2, might as well just pop both in the oven at the same time. So that would be a good idea. And fill this about 3/4 of the way to the top, because remember, it will rise. Okay, so you're going to bake each of the halves of the cake for 30 to 35 minutes, or until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean, and then I will show you how to make the frosting for our layer cake. The next step in making our chocolate layer cake is making the frosting, and the ingredients for this frosting are very simple. So you'll just need some butter softened at room temperature, some vanilla sugar or vanilla extract, some cocoa powder to make it chocolate frosting, or you can make it vanilla by just omitting this ingredient, some confectioner's sugar, some milk, and then a sifter. I'm going to be using my hand mixer, and a couple of bowls. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to take your confectioner's sugar and put it in small batches in your sifter, along with your cocoa powder. And you're going to sift all of the confectioner's sugar and the cocoa powder into one of your bowls. Okay, so now what you're going to do is set your dry ingredients aside, And you're going to take another medium-sized bowl and take your butter, just plop it in there, and then using my hand mixer, I'm going to cream this until it's nice and creamy, and you'll see the consistency. Okay, so now that our butter is all creamy and it kind of has a consistency like this where it sticks up on the whisks of your mixer, you're going to take your milk and your sugar, set this aside, and you're going to add 1 tablespoon of milk initially, and I would do this tablespoon by tablespoon, and then alternate that with your sugar mixture, not flour mixture, with like a couple tablespoons of this, or a few, about 3, and then you're going to mix that and until you get that nice creamy consistency of a frosting, which I'll show you in a sec. Once you're done mixing the chocolate, add your vanilla extract or vanilla sugar to your mixture, and then just mix it up. Okay, so our frosting is all done, and what I've done is I've taken both cakes out of the oven and I let them cool for, I would say, at least 10 minutes, even before you take them out of the pan, because they will stick to the pan if you do not put parchment paper. As you can see, the top one came out very well, and then the bottom one I didn't put parchment paper on, so it all crumbled because it sticks to the sides, even if you grease it. Okay, so now what I've done is I've put some parchment paper bits on the sides, so when I ice the cake, it won't stick to my cake pan, and then when I take pictures or when I serve it, you won't have the frosting on the sides. So what I'm gonna do is I've just put 1 layer of cake on the bottom, then I frosted that one, and then I frosted also the top of the cake, so you have that layer in between the frosting. And then now what I'm gonna do, just put some nice frosting on there, and it's really creamy and so perfect for frosting any cakes, cupcakes, you name it, anything really. So you're just going to frost the whole outside of the cake, the whole exterior, just really smoothly, however you like it. And then I'm gonna put some nice little just designs and finishing touches on the top and all around it, and I'll come back to show you how to do that. Okay, so I have finished frosting the whole exterior of the cake, and now what I'm going to do is just do like little, I don't know, accents on the top and stuff, you know, just for extra decoration in this really cool like contraption thing. It's called Dessert Decorator. It's from Wilton. I got it a really long time ago. I don't know if you can still find it, but I'm just going to do like little shells all around the top of the cake with this wider, like spiky tip. Okay guys, so we have finished making our chocolate layer cake. It looks so delicious and not too rich, but so elegant with, especially when you put nice finishing touches on top and all around, and it also hides all the imperfections, which is good. So now it's time to taste this cake, and I'm really excited. So make sure you get a really nice big knife for this. And I'm just gonna, and it's very moist, especially when I was taking it out of the pan. And then a trick is to make sure you always wipe your knife in between cuts so that you don't mess up the top of the cake. Oh my gosh. Yes, oops. Kind of cut out the tip a little, but I mean, look at that. I mean, you can't beat that. No store-bought cake can beat a homemade cake or anything like this. And I bet it tastes even better than it looks. So let's give it a try. Wow, this is amazing. It is so good, and as you can see, I didn't put a lot of frosting in the middle, but I mean, thank you for requesting it so much to that viewer, because this was such a great idea and it's such a delicious recipe that I made here for you today that it's easy, but it might be a little time consuming, but the whole time is totally worth it. Make sure you get the full recipe on my website, which I'll leave a link to. And that's it for Food Finessa today, and we'll see you in another episode of Food Finessa where I help you with some finesse in the kitchen. See you next time. Bye.